This is the Dolman sleeve jacket with a basket weave insert, but you could make it just plain. That's totally up to you. Again, you get to be the designer. Now this is a really simple jacket to put together, and one of the things you're going to love the most about it is there's no set-in sleeve. A Dolman sleeve means that it's all one piece, and I'm going to turn this little dress form around and show you that the sleeve is all one piece. So there's a seam right down the center of it, but it's all one piece, okay? This is the top of the jacket. So let's start in the beginning by telling you that in the book, pictures, step by step by step, how you're going to put this together. So make sure that you check out all of those wonderful pictures in the book. You're going to start with your master top pattern, and that's the way we've started everything else. And I would suggest that you make yourself a pattern for this, because you'll probably make a lot of them. We're going to use Pattern-Ease to draw this. This you can purchase on my website, as many yards as you like. Now in the directions it tells you you can either line or not line. When you line it, I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second, but you don't have to line this if you don't want to. So we're going to start with our master pattern. We don't need the sleeve. We only need the front and the back piece. And because it's a woven piece of fabric, we're going to add to the side seam. If you go to chapter 2, it tells you how to go with the side seam and add to it depending on what it is that you're making. So I have linen up here, but you could choose any kind of fabric you wanted to, but you do need to add to the side seam for this. Again, I would rather you make a mistake on the side of adding too much than not adding enough. So if you're unsure of the fit of how you're going to like the dolman, add an inch to it if you want to. Where are you going to find the dolman? On the back side of the pattern. There is a dolman overlay. And the best part about this dolman overlay is this is where we're going to put that insert. So this is exactly what you see. Now you may be higher busted or lower busted, or short between your shoulder and your waist, or long between your shoulder and your waist. So you need to know where you want that insert to hit you. So this is what I'm going to suggest you do. Make your pattern first. Because it's made from Pattern-Ease, you're going to be able to see through it. So let me show you how. Let me bring this back up again. Let me show you how it is you're going to do this. If I lay this master pattern on top and line up the shoulder seam like this, can you see where you're going to draw the dolman? Now this is a short sleeve dolman. Okay, this is the way I've lined this up. This is a short sleeve dolman. You can make it long sleeve. That's what I have up here. You can make it as long as you want to make it. If you want to know how long you need it to be, hold your arms straight out. Have somebody go to the back of you and put a tape measure in that bone in the back of your neck and go to your wrist. That's how long you would want to make the sleeve. So again, totally up to you as to how long you want to make it. Short, long, what, 3/4, whatever. So what you're going to do is, you can see here it says for larger sleeve. So if you happen to have a large upper arm, I would suggest you choose this line. If you don't, I would suggest you choose this line. So let me pull this up so you can see the lines that I'm talking about. This is for a larger sleeve, a larger arm. It'll give you a bigger sleeve. And this is for a smaller arm. Now, a lot of people don't like dolman sleeves because they say it looks like bat wings. Bat sleeves literally came from your wrist to your waist. And no, it's not attractive on anybody. That's not the way this is. You've got a little bit more tailoring to it. So you can see exactly where you would draw. So if this is my master pattern and I put it on top of here on the overlay, I literally would draw from the line right here. So I would follow this line right here and make my dolman sleeve. So that's how you're going to make the pattern. So let me show you what the pattern is going to look like once it's made. So this is going to be my pattern front, and I literally drew a line at the bottom of that overlay. Now I did this so you could literally put this up to you and see where that line would be. If I were making this right now, let me hold this up to my shoulder. If I were making this right now, can you see where that line would hit me? I would probably want that drop just a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit, because I don't want it low in my waist. I want it dropped just a little bit. I would probably add an inch to this before I would cut it apart. but I would suggest that you make it out of pattern knees and hold it up to you. It's a lot easier to do that than it is to cut all this out and be wrong. So let's hold that up to you. So this is your front and this is your back. All right, and you can see that this is the center back and there is the sleeve that goes to the dolman. This is the center front, and I've added, because it's going to be a jacket, and I've added in case you want to put buttons and buttonholes, but you don't even have to do that. This jacket can actually kiss, as we've talked about before. And there's the sleeve. So it's a really simple jacket to do. Now I'm going to go back and talk about the product patternese, because all of this has patternese on it. It just gives it a little bit more detail. Now I have to tell you that I put patternese on a lot of my jackets, and the reason I do is that I carry these around with me. So the patternese keeps these jackets a lot neater, and they're handled all the time, so I like it. If you don't like it, don't put it on there, it's fine. But this is a linen, and this linen is has polyester in it, so it doesn't wrinkle quite so badly. But this linen, I did put the French fuse on it. French fuse is sold on my website, comes in 3 different colors, black, white, and beige, and it is 60 inches wide, so you get a lot for your money. So this is the bottom front, and let me show you. This is going to go like this, okay? And this is the other side, obviously. And this is the pattern part. And this is the back. And you're going to love the back, because the back has detail in it too. It's kind of nice to put detail in the back of your garment. It has pleats. Are they gorgeous or what? So the pleats are going to be in the back. So I'm going to turn this dress form around and show you that when I go to the back of this, now there's going to be the insert. Keep that in mind. This is where it's going to go. So you have a really pretty, let me step out of the way. You have a really pretty back to this. I love pleats. So I think they look really cute. So let's go to the basket weave part. Now you understand the back and you understand the front, and we've got that. These are our patterns. Now on the back pattern we've added, and it tells you exactly how much to add for your pleats. So this would be the fold of the fabric, and that's how you would add the fold to the fold of the fabric for your back. And you're going to pleat it up. Now here's a great way to do this. Once you've pleated it up, you can always check to make sure you have plenty before you actually sew it together, because if you didn't, you could take one of these pleats out. So that would be a really simple thing to do. So just before you sew it together, just check it against the pattern that you just made to make sure that you have the back width that you need. Again, we don't want any surprises. This is not a time to be surprised. So this is my front, this is my back, and let me show you how you would line it if you're going to line your jacket. So this would be my front, and I'll lay this down like this and show you that this is the pattern that I showed you to begin with, but I'm going to cut it apart, and this is going to be the facing. So the facing is going to go into the jacket front, but it's going to be the whole length. There's not going to be any insert in the facing, and I will show you what this looks like. And I have a really wild lining here. Isn't this pretty? I like wild linings. They're kind of fun to play with. So this is the facing, and this is the lining. So you're literally going to use part of the front for your facing, and the rest is lining. Now the facing has French fuse on it. Again, you're going to put French fuse on it so the jacket hangs nice. I see so many of you make garments and you're not happy with them when you look in the mirror, and most of the time you're not happy with them because in your head they were more tailored. French fuse is going to solve that. You will be amazed how French fuse changes your life. So that's going to solve all that tailoring look that you're not accomplishing. So please go back and use French fuse. So this would be the lining for the whole entire jacket. And again, as I said, you don't have to line it if you don't want to. So let me put this aside and let's talk about this basket weave insert, because this is really fun to do. Now you're going to take a strip of your fabric and fold it and then sew away from the fold. You can do it 1/2 inch like I have right here. You can do more, you can do less. Totally up to you. And then you need to turn it, because what you've created are tubes. Use a tube turner, you can use a loop turner, whatever you want to turn the tubes. Once you have the tubes turned, I suggest that you press them. And the seam, kind of roll it to the back, because we don't want to see the seam on the tube itself. Let me put this down so that you can see the tube. See, that's what the tube looks like. So this is where you're going to work with it. Now this is the insert. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to pull this up here so that you can see a little better because I've got blue against blue. And I think you can see that just a little bit better. This is the insert. And on the insert, I actually chalked where I want that basket weave to go. And the reason you want to chalk this, because believe it or not, this is all glued on with steam-a-seam, the whole thing. We are not going to sew this down, because if you sew this down, you are not going to get the look that you want, because this is the look that we're after, more of a three-dimensional look. So all of those strips have been glued on with steam-a-seam. So they'll be caught in the seam allowance at the top and at the bottom, but the rest of it is simply glued. Follow the directions on the back of the steam-a-seam, and it is glued permanently. So there's no issue as to whether it's going to come off or not. So as you can see, this has been chalked, and we followed that line just like this with the steam-a-seam. And this even has steam-a-seam on the back side of it. So I do all one way, and then do the other ones going the opposite way. And you have a beautiful basket weave. So let me show you what that looks like after it's all glued on. So this is the center front of this jacket, and this is the back of the jacket, the insert, the back of the jacket, and then of course we have another front. So let me hold this up to the dress form again so that you can see where this is going to go. That's going to be the insert right here, and then we're going to have the bottom right here, bottom front. Let's see how good I can do this. And that's what your jacket's going to look like. Go back and look at the picture, because the picture probably shows it a little bit better than I'm holding up. But I love the basket weave because it really does give a lot of interest, and it does give three-dimensional. Now you don't have to make it as wide as I'm telling you. You could make it much narrower if you wanted to. So it's just a fun way to add detail to your jacket, have the Dolman sleeve, line the jacket, and have fun. I hope you enjoyed the video. Now it's time to check out the website. Everything is on there. You can purchase the pattern, the book, all the notions I talked about. You can join the Fit Club and check out the classes where I'm teaching. And be sure to follow me on Facebook.